I'm Greg Srzawasti with Deepest Dream. Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Well, I'm a huge fan of documentaries, and I really loved how, on an aesthetic level, you added animation to this entire documentary. Can you just talk about that choice and how it, in your opinion, added to the overall fabric of this doc?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you liked it. I love the animation in it. I think the reason we wanted to put animation is to add sort of this texture to Mary's inner self and her inner self, the story of her inner self and that child that she was and that evolution of her as a child into who she is today. And the other thing is what I wanted to do too is instead of having archival just sort of show flat as archival, putting the archival into animation to me was a way to really explore Mary's memory of seeing that footage as it existed in the 70s, 80s, 90s, but from the eye of a little kid and as a teenager. So that's what it did for us, is also added a level of storytelling that becomes sometimes, she talks about really hard emotional moments, and we wanted to feel it and let it breathe a little bit. And animation gave us that opportunity.
You know, she has obviously one of the best voices in music, but I think, and your doc shows this, what really separates her is the fact that she's vulnerable without having this plastic sheen to monetize one's brand or image. Can you just talk about that really rare quality she has? And I'm sure, what was it like to collaborate with that up close and personal?
Yeah, I think that's something that just keeps striking me all the time is, I would stand on the sidelines, and when she was in concert, we followed her during the royalty tour with Nas, and she did this 25-year, look back at my life, watching her as a performer where she transforms the whole space, it's just this incredible vibration in the room, to then at the same time being able to then go home with her and have a conversation on the couch of just what it is to be her. And it's just this human connection that she doesn't seem to ever lose touch with, that core sense of self. That's just, I think, like you just said, I mean, I'm just repeating what you said, really. It's just, she has a remarkable ability to play both things as needed.
My final question to you is just when people ask you for advice on how to get started in documentaries, when people ask other filmmakers about starting, advice for narratives, to me, that's an A to B process, but documentary filmmaking seems to me to be such an immersive and very multi-layered process. What kind of advice can you give people on that? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I always am threatening myself and everyone else that I'm quitting doing documentaries every time I finish one, because they're really hard. Because you're dealing obviously with real people's lives. It's hard. I think that my advice would just be, yeah, it's not a straightforward thing. Like, it's not like you have to go to film school necessarily. It's actually, I think, if you want to get into docs, it's being curious and interested, and you do a doc because you want to tell, again, a story about something, or not even tell a story, you want to amplify a story that already exists, and you want to give voice to somebody or something. So I always like suggest to people who want to start out, like, what are you interested in? Go see the world, go meet people, listen, talk, be in the world, read books, read, the newspaper, just be an active part of the world, and let those interests bring something about for you. I don't think it's something that can be, there's things that can be taught obviously in school, in film school as well, and those are great people to do docs as well, but I think to actually do the heart of a documentary is you have to really care about the topic.
Vanessa, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed your documentary.
Thank you.
All right, take care.